specific horrific creatures of the deep that make it so I can't sleep. Oh my god, it keeps going. Up first, we have the Pacific football fish. What a whimsical name. You know, I doubt this thing is the stealer of dreams and replacer of nightmares. Oh shucks, that's exactly what this is. It's named after a football because obviously it's shaped, but also because if one comes near you, you're gonna want to hurl that puppy as far away from you as possible. So this is one of them fish that the thing on its head lights up to attract prey, like in Nemo. Had a fun movie, but this is real life and it's more horrifying. Also, its skin is often jet black, so it's sneaky, so it can sneak up on you when you're not paying attention. So that's fucking great. Then we have the stargazer fish. Oh my god. Oh my god. Respectfully, this is one of the ugliest, dumbest things I've ever seen with my own two eyes. But also, this fish has 2 venomous spines and can cause electric shocks via a special organ located behind its eyes. What? It hides, and then you can step on it and get poisoned and electric shocked at the same time. Do Pokemon even have that ability? And then we have the Pacific viper fish. This thing is small but deadly with sharp needles like teeth, and I'm not gonna talk about this thing. Fuck it. It's off the screen. I'm gonna move on. Then we have the bane of my existence, which is the ocean sunfish. Too big. This thing is too big to be alive. I mean, it's not a whale, but whales have feelings and emotions. This thing is just a big dumb hunk of meat floating around. It's sentient, but barely. And yes, it's technically a docile species that poses no threat to humans, but just because it hasn't yet doesn't mean it won't. Doesn't mean it won't flip the switch and go murder mode on our asses. Here are the cutest sea creatures that want nothing more than to kill you. Up first, we have the striped dumpling squid. There's a lot of cute words in there. It's actually a cuttlefish, not a squid, but I guess when something's this cute, you just kind of throw out all naming conventions. Obviously named after its cute little prisoner pajamas and the fact that it's like round and plump like a dumpling. I kind of love this thing. And it's typically found in shallow Australian waters, which is great because you can either touch it accidentally or on purpose, which is great because, oh my god, is this thing poisonous? Oh my god. Just filled to the brim with neurotoxins. The things that turn off your brain like a flashlight. They either just put you into a coma or kill you immediately, or they affect your brain chemistry so much that you're no longer the person you were. You are a shell of your former self. So, it's kind of cute though, that's fun. Number 2, we have the cone snail. How dangerous can a f***ing snail be? Known for being picked up by tourists and not being super cool about that. I mean, it's a cool looking shell. I mean, I'd probably pick it up. I'm dumb. I got f***ing 2 brain cells in my head. Their cute little head pops out the top, and if one catches you and gives you a little sting, it can lead to muscle paralysis, blurred and double vision, respiratory paralysis, and death. So the next time you want to go shell hunting at a beach, just don't go to the beach. What's the fucking point? I'm gonna butcher the name of this next one. This jellyfish. And look at this little fella. Look at this little guy. Well, who could he hurt? This is literally the jellyfish that Dory named Squishy in the movie. It is 95% water and only 1 cubic centimeter big. It is also the most venomous. Fuck me. Unlike other jellyfish that will just sting you with their tentacles, this thing shoots out burrs at you. Adorable sea creatures that we don't pay enough attention to. Number 1 is sea bunnies. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at it. I mean, technically they're slugs, which is not dope, but they're fuzzy, and they're white, and they have little black ears, and they look like they're straight out of a Studio Ghibli movie. Or Ghibli, I don't know how to pronounce it. Seahorses. Pretty cute, right? Everyone knows a seahorse. Well, there's tiny ones. There's little baby tiny ones called pygmy seahorses. I don't have any images for scale, but it's like the size of your pinky nail. It is so absolutely tiny, I want to cry. And they're also masters of camouflage. They can blend in really well, so in my mind, I feel like they all get together and play hide and seek, and that's how I fight off my depression. And last but not least, we have the cheerleader crab, which is adorable to begin with, but good lord, you don't even know yet. 1, it's super tiny. I think they're only like 1.5 centimeters each, so that's cute. But 2, those little things in their hands, they're not even part of their anatomy. They pick those up. They're little anemones. They're little pom-poms that they like to carry around. And they help them pick up food and fend off predators or whatever. But I'm just here for the adorableness of that. Like, they are just always picking up little flowers. Golly. Creatures of the sea that are so disgusting that I believe they don't deserve to exist. Up first is a fish called the black swallower, and no, I will not be trying to pronounce its scientific name, but Jesus Christ, what is this thing? It's known for its extendable gut that when it eats a bigger fish, it just kind of lives in there and gets digested. It reminds me of one of those weird drawings that I see on DeviantArt sometimes. People ask me why I don't like going to the ocean, and this is one of several reasons. I don't want to end up in some small fish's giant gut. That is not how I want to spend my holiday. Number 2, the hagfish. No, I'm not making that name up. It's really called the hagfish, and Jesus Christ, it's so goddamn gross. I mean, they're visually unappealing. Look at a bunch of them all together. Does that not make your skin crawl? Oh my god. And they also are known for producing slime, hagfish slime, that you can buy and use for some purpose. I don't know why. I hope to god it's not in food. I hope to god. This next one I have a hard time even looking at, and it's the slender snipe eel. I believe it's over there somewhere. I don't want to even be near it. I just feel like it's gonna like slip into me. I don't know from what part of my body, but when I'm swimming in the ocean, it's just gonna go in 1 second and go right up into me. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's too long and skinny. You can be long and fat or short and skinny, but you can't be long and skinny. You can't do that. Also, dolphins are pretty chill, but I found this picture of dolphins, and that's gonna give me nightmares now, so you have to look at it too. Here are some fish that shouldn't exist. because they're evil looking, and I hate them. Up first, we have the sheep's head fish, which looks, you know, normal, relatively fish-like, and not demonic. Until you pop this buddy's beak open and see it's got a whole fucking ring of human teeth. Having human teeth is a problem in itself. I don't like it, and it upsets me deeply. But the fact that it has, like, the bottom of its mouth is all people teeth. We should kill them all. We should kill all these fish. If I were to stop eating meat, I would stop eating pigs and cows because I think they have the capacity to love you. Chickens don't. They're evil by nature, but fish I would eat them out of spite. This thing needs to die. Up next is the wolf eel, and before I show you a picture of it, I just want us all to take a deep breath and realize that there are monsters living among us. 3, 2, 1, here it is. Soak it in. And it's gone forever. You'll never have to see that again. I'm so sorry for even bringing that up. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything. I didn't look anything up about this fish because I'm so fucking scared of it. So we're just gonna move right on. Up next, we have the ocean sunfish, which sounds cute. You know, it's a little fish that enjoys the sun. What's not to love? Besides the fact that it is a behemoth, a giant with no moral compass. Look at this picture of this dude swimming next to it. That is unsettling. I am not settled. I feel like if I shot it with a handgun, it would take it. It would swim off. No fish should be able to survive a 9mm. Before I get to the next fish, I just want to say, I don't know anything about guns. So when I said 9mm, that's the only gun I know of. I don't even know if that's a gun. Just don't make fun of me, okay, you hicks. I don't know anything about guns. Last but not least, can you get your butthole out of the frame, please? Last but not least is the Pacific barrel-eyed fish. The science fiction writers of our era could never dream up something as horrific as this. By the way, those aren't its eyes. Those are its eyes. The 2 crystal balls living in this thing's skull. That's how it sees. I don't think anything living on this earth should be translucent. Call me old-fashioned, but you should not be able to see through living creatures. Today I would like to discuss how goddamn cool sea slugs are. There are like a million of these things, and each one is cooler than the last one, so I just want to go over as many as I can. We have the lettuce sea slug, which looks like that kind of candy that doesn't taste good, but it's really pretty. And I don't know if it's poisonous or not. It didn't say it in my research, but I am going to touch it if I see it. That's just what's gonna happen. The blue velvet head shield sea slug, which looks like some kind of Destiny 2 armor. It is so badass. You're telling me this thing makes the electricity, but this thing doesn't? That makes 0 sense. This thing should be putting out 1,000 volts because it's so gosh darn electric. RuPaul's warty slug. I know it's not actually RuPaul, but this thing is drag. This thing is camp. That's kind of a mean name for something this pretty. I feel like whoever named him was jealous of its natural beauty. How about the purple line unidentia? This thing is like a biblically accurate angel. Scientists haven't even studied these things that much because they're hard to find, which means they're rare, which means they're important. And also the purple Mediterranean sea slug, which looks like a character in an RPG that would sell me useful trinkets. Can you see him in a little cave somewhere with a cane just like giving you things? I don't know, maybe I'm mentally ill. You wanna know what's cool as hell? Sea slugs. You know what no one's talking about? Sea slugs. You know what I'm about to talk about? Sea slugs. Number 1, we have the leaf sheep fuck, that's hard to say. We have the leaf sheep sea slug. That's so hard for me to say. But it's like a little itty bitty underwater peacock with the face of a sheep, and those 2 things are fantastic on land, so they do even better underwater. And all that green stuff on it makes it so it can use photosynthesis like a plant. It doesn't even have to eat food. It can if it wants, but it doesn't have to. The blue sea slug. Throw out your Yu-Gi-Oh cards, ladies and gentlemen, because we got a real one in real life. Now, it is incredibly poisonous. It's really not good to touch. But you know what? It deserves its own personal space because it's so gosh darn pretty. I hope people touch it and die. I do. This next one, I didn't even believe it was real. I had to do some extra Googling to figure out that I wasn't getting punked, but the frosted sea slug looks immaculate. I don't know if this makes sense, but it looks like Christian imagery. It looks like a youth pastor would use this in some sort of analogy. And last but not least, we have the leaf gilded sea slug, and it looks kind of gross to touch, but it's also really pretty. It looks like a bunch of monarch butterflies. Isn't that neat?